Oakwood Theme Park in Wales is one of the largest attractions to have ever opened in the country. This park originally opened its gates in 1987 under the ownership and development of the McNamara family in Narberth, Pembrokeshire, which is a long way out for most UK enthusiasts. The park operated under the family until 2008 when the park was sold to Aspro Parks. And if you don't know, like a lot of other enthusiasts including myself, Aspro Parks own attractions like the Walligator and Wallaby family parks, but in terms of the UK they also own the Hastings Castle attraction and the show there, which being from that area myself I've probably been to, so I technically have been to an attraction operated by the same people that operated Oakwood Theme Park. But not to get off track, over its lifespan, it's been home to 6 different roller coasters, namely Megafobia and Speed No Limits, which are basically just the ones most attractive to enthusiasts, and they are the only large thrill roller coasters to have ever operated there. In terms of other rides, one includes Drenched, which is an Intamin super flume that opened in 2002, originally called Hydro. This ride was prone to a lot of problems, mainly being manufactured by Intamin in the first place. No hate to the manufacturer, but they're very unreliable, and they always have been. Only 2 years after its opening in 2004, unfortunately, a 16-year-old rider was ejected from the ride from over 100 feet in the air. Another attraction that operated at the park is Bounce, which was a Huss shot and drop tower which opened in 1999. To my knowledge, the ride operated relatively smoothly until 2016 when it was closed for a huge refurbishment. The park spent over £400,000 refurbishing the ride until it opened again in 2022. Then unfortunately, in July of last year, the ride suffered an emergency stop which injured a few riders and forced a few others to be admitted to the hospital. This event unfortunately came as a shock to the park. One of the smaller, more significant roller coasters in the park is Treetops Roller Coaster, which opened in 1989. This ride was manufactured by Sierra with a small figure 8 layout and was, just your bog standard kiddie coaster. However, again, more recently, in 2022, a person fell from the train which led him to be airlifted to hospital, and it must have been so serious that that same day the whole park was evacuated and closed. Now talking about some of the larger scale attractions in the park, Megaphobia, often considered to be the best ride in the park, was a CCI or Custom Coasters International wooden coaster which opened in 1996. It featured quite a unique layout for the time, being designed by John Wardley, of course, the same guy who designed Nemesis, and and had an interesting twister layout featuring a lot of airtime pops. It's often considered to be the Alton Towers revenge ride because they wouldn't let John Wardley design a wooden coaster for the park. Either way, the ride is often slated as being the best wooden coaster in the UK, but also one of the best wooden coasters in the whole continent. Then later in its lifespan in 2023, the ride opened with a large refurbishment by the Gravity Group, which is another wooden manufacturing company that often does refurbishments like this. The ride reopened with a reprofiled drop and a lot of added airtime moments, which smoothed out quite a lot of the ride. In terms of the other major roller coaster at the park, Speed No Limits was a Gerstlauer Eurofighter model which opened in 2006. It was actually the first ever Gerstlauer Eurofighter to open in the UK, despite the fact that there are now 3, and it originally opened as the tallest, fastest and steepest coaster in Wales. When it opened, it also held the world record with 4 other Gerstlauer Eurofighters for the steepest roller coaster in the world. It featured one of the craziest elements in Europe, full stop, with a negative 1.3G camelback after the first beyond vertical drop. The ride also underwent a repaint over the last year from greenish supports to black ones. In 2024, the park also opened with a brand new entrance, which was a small but good addition to the park. But even before that, the park has been getting sufficient investment, like back in 2016 when a musician was brought in to make theme songs for both the whole park, but also Megaphobia. Since the start of the millennium, it's quite sad to see that Oakwood has suffered quite a lot of major events, not always the good kind. However, it has been good to see over the past few years the park been getting investment. Again, like I stated, the refurbishment of Bounce for the 2022 season, the musician being brought in to make music for around the park, Speed's repaint over the 2023 and 2024 season, and also the brand new entrance which opened in 2024 and was quite an upgrade. On the topic of the entrance, whilst it's not the most extravagant thing ever, it was quite needed for the park considering the old entrance was quite literally a shed and a train station. It seems to keep quite a simplistic design, just being some wood planks, a roof, but in terms of the actual hardware and what it features, it looks like just a ticket booth, a queue leading up to the actual entrances, and some very loud speakers. However, despite all this investment, it seems that the park has taken the decision to immediately close the attraction. And as soon as you get on the website, you can see it's got the statement, Oakwood Theme Park to close, and, then the full statement. So if we go on to this, it is with much sadness that we have to announce the immediate closure of Oakwood Theme Park and confirm the park will not open for the 2025 season. Following a strategic review of the business, Aspro Parks, owner and operator of Oakwood Theme Park, have reached this difficult decision due to the challenges presented by the current business environment. Despite the ongoing investment, visitor numbers have declined, the financial performance of the park has suffered, making further investment unsustainable. We would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to the dedication and commitment of our team members past and present, suppliers and contractors who have loyally supported us, and of course all of those who have visited Oakwood Theme Park over the years. We are sincerely grateful. Thank you for making Oakwood Theme Park a special place. That kind of hits deep. Even though I never actually went there and I never experienced any of the rides, that just, it hits considering like all the memories that people would have made there. The closure of some of the rides at that place, especially Megaphobia. This might be quite a stretch, but I feel like you can compare the closure of Megaphobia in the UK to the implosion of Kingda Car in America. I know they're like completely different rides, but it just kind of hits the same, But overall, we just have to unfortunately recognise that these are businesses that are running these parks, not enthusiasts. So we can't really control what they do and what they invest in and that sort of thing. But in terms of the overall impact it has on the UK theme park community, we've had a lot of closures during the last sort of year or so, with Flambards in Cornwall, Bear Grylls Adventure in Birmingham, and now this, an actual major theme park that bring in visitors and enthusiasts and just general fans of adrenaline and stuff like that from all over the UK. Another reason I feel like we could see this coming was the removal of Drenched, which we knew about considering the fact it was been closed since 2022, but also the fact that Bounce started randomly being deconstructed over the 2025 off-season, which is now the eternal off-season by the looks of it. But other than that, we had no real idea to the fact that this was coming, so it's again just a huge shock to the whole community. In terms of relocations, Megaphobia, I'm sorry to all you that may believe it's getting relocated. I don't think it's going anywhere. It's an attraction that's almost 30 years old. If it stayed open, it would have been 30 next year, which I'm actually really sad to see they couldn't keep it open for the major milestone in its history. It's a large size wooden roller coasters, and wooden roller coasters in general are very hard to relocate. But the fact it's in the Welsh countryside, really far out from any major cities, any other major theme parks or attractions, I just don't feel like it's going anywhere. But also the fact that it's really old and quite rough, not the retract parts obviously, but like the older parts were supposedly really rough. Again, not that I ever rid it. If it was getting relocated, they would have to completely deconstruct and reconstruct the ride, which for many portable rides makes it quite a lot rougher every time it gets deconstructed and reconstructed, unless they designed it intentionally to be relocated multiple times, like Olympia Looping. The other large roller coaster in the park, Speed No Limits, I feel like is the most likely candidate to getting relocated. Gerstlauer Eurofighters are literally designed to be relocated. They're extremely compact and have supports that look like they're supposed to be in an IKEA flat pack package. But with Oakwood being a lower budget park, most of the other attractions are very easily relocatable, being like fairground rides and that sort of thing. But just in general, what this closure actually means for the UK theme park community. Oakwood was a very large and well kept park in Wales, which had a varied and great lineup of rides, especially for the UK, with Megaphobia being one of the best rides in the UK as well. The fact that the park are pulling a Six Flags and not even letting us have rides before it goes is very sad, as personally, and I know a lot of other enthusiasts didn't get a chance to ride it. But overall, I feel like it's just a huge shock for the community. I actually could not believe it when I saw the announcement and I saw people telling me that like it's closed forever. I was like actually shocked because I never got to ride it, and Megaphobia honestly looked like it would have been one of the best rides in the UK for sure. I think the UK is just not going to be the same without it. If they had announced this at the end of the 2024 season, I feel like it would have been a lot less believable, because before that, Bounce hadn't started being deconstructed and Drenched was being deconstructed, but like that had already closed in 2022, so it's like we kind of expected that. But before that, over the last few years, loads of investment had come in, but obviously more recently with Bounce starting to get removed and the park just looking like it was in absolute shambles over the off season, and now obviously it's gone. But yeah, hey, I just wanted to make a small video about, you know, the announcement and what it means for the UK and all that and all the rest of it. I know I haven't uploaded in a long time, and I just kind of wanted to push this out there as a starting point. So over the next sort of few weeks and the next sort of few months, I think I'm going to be uploading a lot more mid-May time after my mocks finish. Obviously the theme park season will have started by then. I'll be posting a full video about all of the UK parks, the closures, the announcements, the openings, the construction, all of it will be coming in a larger video hopefully soon. If you like this style of content, make sure to leave me a like, and if you want to see that video, make sure to hit the subscribe button with notifications on. Have a good day and be sad about Oakwood.